All right, welcome everyone with Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Apothecary Diaries, Season 2, Episode 4. There was a cover-up. Like, we
Yes.
had a full body stashed on palace grounds,
Yeah.
and people didn't know about it.
A concubine conspiracy.
That's right. And a lady-in-waiting conspiracy. Yeah. But yeah, what mushroom would grow on a dead body? That's a good question, Mau Mau, and one that we are all wondering.
Yes, don't worry, you're not alone in this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some people want to know what mushrooms, grow on a corpse, and some people want to know what, human flesh tastes like, just, academic curiosity.
Exactly. It's just it's a question. It's a question.
It's just a simple question, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep,
It doesn't
yep.
mean anything. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
of course not. Of course not.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh. Okay.
Those two look very similar.
Yes, they're identical.
Ooh.
この反射ハリセイでしょうか当たりようっかり割ってしまったら首が飛んでもま
Oh shit.
前にもハリセイの手鏡はあったけどいいバカがしてたからねもうそれは言わない
No imperfections.
はいどういう構造になっているのでしょうか
この姿見はね異国の特使からの献上品なの
Okay.
様ですかそういえば破いて
Yeah, them
Okay.
again.
Yeah.
抑揚費を含めた上級費は4人特使としても誰かだけをひいきにはできないこんな立
Sure.
派な姿見を4枚も持って
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
transportation.
少しシャオマオの意見を聞かせてほしいことがありまして本ニャン様場所をお借りしてる
二人きりはまずいと本ニャン様も同席してくれたがガオシュン様が妻子持ちとしてすっかりと
Okay.
Actually just falls asleep.
大変妙な話な
An acquaintance, yes.
とある両家に二人の息
We're bringing another
Okay.
instance of twos here.
Right.
子たちました
You had to choose one to inherit, yeah.
言えるほどに
Oh,
一人はもちろんのこと
oh.
二人でも外に出ることは許された
Okay. That's tough.
哀れに思った次女が時折連れ出すこともありました
Ah, but a single lady in
Ooh.
waiting.
に知られて
Okay.
Potential for favoritism, yeah.
監視役に置きある時
父様妹が千人の子を身ごもりました
Oh.
妙な話ですね
Yeah, because it's not a real story.
外出させたのでは
Or one of the guards got up to some shit.
ゲランは監視のためでも部屋に近づくことも許されていません
Oh, and if there's multiple,
確か
then
に困ったこと
Okay.
ですが私の領分ではない気がします義郎でも若い妓女が好きな男の子供を身ごもったと言い出したことがありました
実際に妊娠したわけではなくて
that's wild.
その妹が身ごもったことは確かなんですか
ええまあそういうことにして
Yeah, because this is not a real story. Let's just
Right.
say she was, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. This is the actual thing here.
北側にある離れでコンタクトは西の渡り廊下でつながって
And that's the only way to get out.
あとは東側と南側に窓がありますがゲランが監視していました
ゲナンはどのあたりから監視していたの
Angles, yeah.
室内はほとんど見えないのでは
ええ
Hmm.
姉妹は窓辺
Right, so-
していることが多かったそう
Well, there's these
If-
lovely things called mirrors where you could,
Ah, haha.
監視は何人いたのですか
二人ですそれぞれ持ち場はずっと同じで
They never left?
Oh.
随分と詳細を知っているそのくせ全ては語っていない
Right. Because for actually who these people are, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
actually who they are is probably to do with the girls in the beginning of the episode, yeah.
ジーンス様からこと捨てで号が遅れそうなので
あ
旅の品だそうです
Oh, oh.
おおそういえばまだもらっていなかった
最近人士様のもとに貴重な霊薬を送る者が多いと聞きましたよやけに熱心に探していると噂ですか
Gotcha.
Yeah. He's trying, but,
This is it!
熊の堪能 を乾かしたもので苦味
Okay.
消化器系の病で重宝される貴重な生薬です。
喜んでいただけて何よりです。本当はジン様が直接渡したか。
Yes, but I came here to.
この木の実が姉妹だとして、いつも座っているのはこの辺りで合っていますか？
そうですね。
そこでこんな風に鏡を
Yeah.
見たらどうでしょう。
Yeah.
Right.
もう一つ木の実があるように見えます。つまり部屋にいたのは一人だけで、もう一人は鏡に映った姿というわけですか。
Right, but that still wouldn't explain how they got
よく
out.
似た姉妹なら監視役が見分けるのは難しいかもしれません。こんな絵だとすればどうでしょう。この絵を逆さまに
Oh,
ナイ
nice.
ス
Yeah.
怒った顔のように見えません。鏡に映って左右が逆になって
Cool.
別のものに見
Nice.
えるような柄を刺繍していたのかもしれません。
確かにその方法なら抜け出して合いびきもできますね。
Oh, sure, because there still is the passage, and that might. Okay.
あんなに美しく映るのだから密偵の疑いがあるものを客人として扱うこともあるだろう。されどそれを追求するような
Yeah, that's for other people.
それよりも
Yeah, I got
a
a
thing.
big ol'. Yeah. Girl's like, I got 17 recipes for this.
薬や真珠の涙を流す絶世の美女の話を聞いたことはないか。
Huh, what? What is with you men coming with strange stories?
Yeah.
美人なら目の前にいますよ。
And Gyokyo still notices that too.
Yeah. Wow.
今来ている特使のたっての願いでな。
特使というと裁縫の？
ああ。幼い頃、特使は祖父から月のせいの話を何度も聞かされていたらしい。できる限り答えたい。何か噂が。
Even if you respond with something that could be akin to clever, kind of cleverness in some way.
もちろん何十年前の話だから今生きているかどうか。
Wait, is that the Obachan that runs the place?
Oh my god.
どうも何も人種
Yeah, fantastic.
まさか。
Yep.
このまさかです。
Yep.
ババアですよ。六章館の。
どんな方なの？
She is very wise.
Yes.
もう美女を集めての遠征。
Gotcha.
月のせいほどではなくても粒揃いを集めたつもりだったが。
And he turned down all of them. Ah, right. It's the two of them or the. Right.
特使は女性だからな。
Right.
ああ、それで人種様に話が回ってきたのか。
Okay.
誰もが見とれる容姿を持ち、
Is technically.
Yeah.
色仕掛けを本気にされ、よとぎを求められても使えるものがない。もちろん、女の身でありながら特使という立場にあれば、そういう浅はかな真似はしないだろう。
Sure.
今回キャラバンの規模が大きかったのもお互いに新たな交易の話を進めたいからだ。
なるほど。遠方の国では他国との
Mm.
そんな国の人間に月のせいとまで言う。
She really must have been something.
幻覚罪でも。では藁にもすがるつもりで。
Okay.
わざわざ来ても
Yeah.
らって
I gotta go talk to her.
なんだか妙な話を持ってきた。
ばあさん昔異国の特使の接待をしたんだって。
ああ、そうだよ。50年以上前だったかね。まだセットしたてで立派な城もなくて接待する場所がなかったんだよ。
Gotcha.
元は何かの祭儀場で果樹園の近くに綺麗な池と建物があってね。
それって
Yeah.
訪れた高級北
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, there was a reason they were bringing up the topography of the palace's.
こう舞台にした踊り手の主役として花町から選ばれたのが私だったのさ。
選ばれた理由は？
そりゃ当時の花町で最上級の妓女だった。
Yeah, not as much competition. Yeah.
私は背も高くて体にメリハリもあったから。
確かに主役として舞台に立ったら
Right. Their movements would be more dramatic.
そこまで用意したのに当日私の衣装にいたずらする奴らがいたのさ。虫の死骸をこす
Wow.
Damn.
切れで隠してうまくやり遂げたさ。結果は大絶賛。 いたずらしたやつは悔しがってたよ。
Clever.
Okay.
This is the one she likes to brag about, you know.
Yeah. Ye olden times.
Back in my day,
Right.
I could have 5 holes in my dress and none of those idiots would notice. Oh,
Damn.
wait, this is what they want, the painting then.
当人は二度とこの地を踏むことはなかったけど、キャラバンに預けて届けてくれたのさ。
やり手ババアは物事を客観視できる人間だ。
Yeah, I don't think she's
Fireflies,
lying
maybe?
or anything. Yeah, I think she's being straight.
とりあえずこの絵によく似た人物を探しますか。そのくらいしか思いつかんな。
正直、この絵に似た大柄な美女を見つけるのは
I mean, you've got the 3.
今では随分縮んでしまいましたが、当時は身長が175センチあったそう。
That's pretty tall.
Yeah. Like 5'9".
Yeah.
徳司様たちもそれくらいの背丈ですし、あまり小さいとわらべのように見えるのでは。
徳司様
That's a good point.
Yeah, they keep leaking little bits of info accidentally.
見つけました。大変敵役の人物。
Okay.
背丈が175センチを超える美人でしょ。
Fantastic. Yes.
Yes!
Although I think they'd see through it.
Well, it's
Like-
not about seeing through it, it's about, you know, what can they do with this, you know?
Sure. Moonlight butterfly.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I love it. We're gonna get Jinshi, the sexy dancer.
Okay, Oba-chan. Sorry,
All right.
I was unfamiliar with your previous game.
No, yeah, she was rocking it back in her day.
God. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
force to
even
be
think
reckoned with.
I don't even think she needs the corset here. Like, geez,
Oh, no.
like the
Yeah.
painting is obviously dramatized, you know, to
Oh,
a point.
sure.
But
Yes.
probably not that much. Like
And yeah, the painting is impressive. I love the idea that it was sent via like, you know, another caravan to actually deliver it. But yeah, you left an impression.
you left
shall
a
we
very,
say.
very powerful impression, a generational beauty.
Right.
The
But-
kind that the granddaughters, or sorry, the grandnieces, effectively, of the person that came, you know, that one time.
Right. But okay, so it's something where, yeah, I love that they brought up that, like, hey, you know, we got plenty of pretty people,
Oh, yeah.
right? But like, this was someone who specifically in a land where we were able to present plenty of pretty people, and yeah, she might have been the prettiest person there, right? She was called a moon goddess.
Yeah.
That's not something that just happens, right?
Right.
So there was some extra special sauce. Like, I love that the Oba-chan was like, yeah, no, I was just performing like normal. Like, yeah, like, obviously we put on a good show, right? Because that's what we do.
Right.
But like,
and
you
even
know,
though there was sabotage, the show went on. It went very well.
Yep.
We had a very good handle on things. And while she didn't have as much competition, because that was like, she was the highest ranking courtesan at the time there.
Yeah.
You know, because this is pre like palace, capital, and all
Sure.
that stuff back then. Or not necessarily pre-palace, but, you know, pre-capital at the
Right.
very least. Yeah, so then it seems odd to me that they would request her in this way, because it feels like it's the kind of, oh, we just want to flex our nobility, our status as, you know, important people, and see
give you
what,
a crazy ask and see what you do.
yeah, see what you do. And
Yeah.
I will wait and see why that's something that they did, other than just curiosity. And maybe maybe Jinshi and company are all overfixating, like, we should try to do this. We do want the trade deals with them to go through. We want
Yeah.
a good relationship with
Like,
these people.
These people are very influential, apparently. Like, the whole idea that they didn't just list one cardinal direction. They listed 2. Like, that's
Right.
That's like,
so the
oh,
trade points
I
for
see.
those, I believe those would be like the exterior perimeters of the country.
Right.
Of where trade is coming through. They're
Both
either,
of them are basically going to be dictated more or less by what we, how we impress these people here.
Right. So either they're, obviously from another nation because they're foreign envoys, but either they're both like working these things individually, they have like a family kind of business connection, they're part of another nation's royal family, and then it's not even really the they say they're envoys though, so that's the part where it's just almost feels odd, because then they're representatives of another entity, but they don't actually specify the entity. So it's probably not important.
Yeah. And it could be like representatives for, a collection of entities or things like that. Who's to say? But the point is that crazy amounts of influence. So they want to meet this demand. And the fact that like this is something that their grandfather told them when they were kids, and like they can't even go the angle of like, if it was like a dude that showed up, they could be like, well, we can just, try and just get someone who's also super gorgeous and hope that, whatever sauce grandpa was on that night that, made him just extra susceptible to, her wiles, that.
So the way that like the fireflies danced around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That, that it hits just right this way too. But
sure,
but that's not necessarily the case, and so it's like, okay, what exactly are they after? Because it feels like there's something else to it, right?
Right, and the part that I lean towards, given the kind of show Apothecary Diaries is that it's either just there's nothing there, they are just making an ask, or I almost felt like it was some kind of code. Like,
sure.
There's been a lot of talks of spies recently. And the story that Gaushin brought up was clearly one completely fabricated, except for the two similar looking people angle.
Right, probably
these
two.
Which is clearly indicative of the twin envoys or what have you.
Yep.
And if they brought mirrors, it's Mao Mao's giving the, like, a friend of mine, an acquaintance, is dealing with this problem. It's like, okay, so this is Jinshi. It's like, okay.
Exactly.
Like, Gaoshin's not exactly the most subtle, even though it's probably better that he went instead of Jinshi, because Jinshi would have accidentally just spilled the beans, probably.
Yeah, Gaoshin is a much better ambassador in that sense.
Right, and so given the very first scene of the episode, in that one of them went off to go meet with some kind of official. Does that mean that one of the envoys is interacting with a spy, potentially? Does that mean that they themselves are spies as well? Who's to say?
Well, and the other thing that's interesting...
That's why I think of coded message.
Well, and if they got out, so the whole idea of the mirror and the two looking similar and all that stuff, that's great for we didn't notice that they were gone.
Right.
But it doesn't actually address the whole thing of the fact that they left in the first place. Because if there's only one exit, right, and that gets locked...
Well, anybody can figure out, like, a way to unlock a thing or what have you. It's more the point that they were observing them as being there the whole time.
Okay, sure. Yeah, maybe that's the bigger mystery for them.
The bigger mystery for them is that they're like, well, they couldn't have gotten out. The guards saw them there the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's, again, yes, we lock it, but people can do all kinds of stuff to locks.
Well, I mean, if it's a lock on the outside, not necessarily. But like,
but
like
still,
it could be,
like,
it's okay, so clearly they got out through here, through a way, right? And
but then why did we see them the whole time?
Sure.
Like, our guards were perfect. There was no, like, in some ways, that's the part where we have to just kind of accept that part, is that they never blinked. They never, they never noticed anything odd or what have you within their perception of the windows specifically. And it's basically a simple problem that's addressed directly by the immediate world plot thing that was introduced this episode of, oh my goodness, full body mirrors were just brought in.
Right.
Oh, and those were given as gifts to the, concubines. But they brought up a very interesting point that they would have to treat all of them fairly, which means that even if they wanted to only bring one for their trick, they had to bring 4 if they were going to mask the reason why they were there as a no, the reason why this is here is specifically so that we can do our little trick, but we have to give them to the concubines, and thus we need 4.
And you could even say that if they had a 5th one that they kept in their room, it's we wanted to make sure that in case one of them broke during travel or something like that, that we had an extra, or, whatever.
Yeah, but the thing that we saw in the episode in the very beginning was that there were 4 mirrors, and then they showed them kind of looking at them, and then they cut to one member of the envoy group then meeting with the official. Right. That's probably the one that snuck out. This was during the nighttime as well. That's an example of something that I would call as not just being, a fun connection point for us as the puzzle solvers alongside Mau Mau as to what's actually going on. But I think it presents a bigger question to me, which is, how did they know that they would be kept in this room and they would need specifically a mirror to accomplish the trick? Because if the angles weren't right, you just there'd be no, like, if the windows weren't they both weren't in the same room specifically, you might not have the geometry to be able to set this up properly.
So for something like this, you definitely have someone on the inside, and I think that's what they're just not mentioning, and that's how the whole thing with like the locked door and all that wasn't a problem, because it's someone helped them with this.
Yeah,
right?
someone escorted them out.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, even if you got to that point, you still got help, right?
Yeah, we have 2,000, non-royalty here as servants or something.
Right.
That any one of them could be a spy or
exactly.
something.
No one had access to the outside. The guards can basically verify that the outside is secure.
Yeah.
And through the windows, they can be like, okay, we think they're both there. And then even if you had someone that was like, I don't know, well, they wouldn't necessarily have a reason to watch the door since it's locked if, a particular person has the key and that's secure, right? But, plenty of people could be moving around in the actual building, and you wouldn't necessarily think much of it.
Right. Another thing I just realized of why they're watching them from this way and not through the door is actually because they're so special foreign envoys. They don't want them to know they're being watched. If they station somebody by the door, then it's much clearer that they don't trust them, and then they actually potentially have something that could ruin the negotiation side of things.
Sure, even if you use the guise of like, hey, just to, in order, like, for, the utmost care for your safety and all that stuff, we're locking the door, like, don't worry about that. That's a planned thing. We'll unlock it at, 8 a.m. or something like that.
Right. It's a security thing. You're on a royal palace. This is a curfew thing that all people here adhere to. If you're walking the grounds at night, we don't want the guards to mistake you for somebody that shouldn't be there.
It's harder to keep you safe, and so just there you go. Right.
Yeah, I think that this is a classic example of something where the delicatness of the situation is such that they chose this method to observe them, and they were so prepared because they had not just noted, like they knew they had information in advance of what they would need. They planned around it in such a way that they almost hid the weapon of their secrecy within a gift to the concubines here. So in terms of that, it's an open and shut case as to what happened, why this happened, and
what they
who
managed
is
to
doing
do.
things with them.
Right, because the whole idea of like, they got
That's
pregnant, right? And it's like, are they actually talking about a pregnancy, or are they talking about something else?
No, they're definitely not talking about a pregnancy here.
Right.
In fact, that was kind of the fun thing that Mau Mau sussed out this is a room that was specifically built for guests, right? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm glad, it's impressive you noticed that, showing us that this is actually the guest room for the envoys, not the father with 2 daughters that he wants to.
Right, exactly.
If anything, I just love the idea of Jinshi writing out the script. He's like, Gaoshin, so this is what you need to say.
So we're gonna say that it's a dad and he's super protective / controlling of his daughters, and so they can't go out, but then
Gaoshin's like, Jinshi, are you working out some personal shit with this? Do you feel like a daughter that's not able to fly?
And the 2 daughters look super similar. Also, I love the idea that it's the foreign envoys come in. They look so similar. They aren't siblings or anything.
That would be really funny.
Like that's
They're just dressed and makeuped and, you know,
yeah, exactly. You know, full regalia
similar
and
way.
fashioned and exactly.
That
you know,
would be amazing.
Dolled up and all that, right? And then it's just, well, they're both blonde and they were both pretty and sitting there, so they look the same. We couldn't
This is just
tell.
casual racism from Jinshi. It's just
Right,
like,
because the guards are also
these
probably like
blonde
50
white
feet
women that
away,
came
just
through.
watching through the door or whatever.
They
and
look
they're just
identical.
we can't tell. Corporate wants you to tell the difference between these two pictures. It's the same picture.
It's the same picture,
Yeah.
I love that idea. But now they need to have someone do this part for them.
Yeah, and I love the detail of like, no, both of them are pretty tall. So if we don't get someone that's at least 175 centimeters, like they're gonna be able to tell. You know, it's gonna look like a little person. You know, right?
Like
and
a little kid. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like, and that's not gonna work. So dang it, how do we get someone who's really tall, really attractive? Wait a minute. Now, just going off of the painting of, Oba-chan here, I feel like there are two other very large complications
Now,
to this situation.
What's being said here, though, is that there was not a description of a big-breasted moon goddess.
Sure.
So
Huge tracts of land,
No. So
Yeah.
all that's really been described
Uh-huh.
is basically the tears that
Right.
fell into
There were
pearls.
yeah. And that's probably the whole thing, like we saw the butterfly, like shining in the moonlight.
Yeah,
and
so it's
stuff.
probably like a firefly or something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines, and that's probably what Shisui was like gathering in the little what looked like a little cage to gather insects of some kind, some kind of flying creature.
But yeah, we're gonna get a performance next episode. So,
with Jinshi.
Yeah, with Jinshi.
Great.
So yes, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon and get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.